Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Angie. I'm a psychic medium who resonates with the Twin Flame Soulmate Collective. So if you guys are new here, don't forget to like, comment, and sub to the channel, as every single month I do a giveaway for 2 lucky subscribers that have a chance to win a free personal reading by me. So all you have to do to be entered into the giveaway is like, comment, and sub to my channel to have a chance to win a free personal reading by yours truly, Angie. So now today, guys, today's topic is going to be one that was, I kind of got this inspiration through spirit to do this topic. So it's going to be all about what is the current gossip about you. So we're actually using sunglasses today as the props. So with that being said, we have here 3 glasses for you to choose from. So this is the energy in pile number 1. So do your thing, pick your pile. We have here pile number 2. Last but not least, we have these ones here in pile number 3. So do your thing, guys, pick your pile, and I'll see you baddies in your reading. Hey, pile number 1, thank you so much for joining me today in your reading. So this is if you chose these turquoise shell glasses, this is going to be your reading. So in case you guys missed the intro and you are new to my YouTube channel, hey guys, thanks so much for joining me and my community. I want to also let you guys know as well that all you have to do to be entered into my giveaway, I usually do one once every month for 2 lucky subscribers to win a free personal reading by me, is like, comment, and sub to your girl's channel. So this reading is going to be all about what is the current gossip, the tea about you, pile number 1. So let us tap in. So we have here Neptune, as well as we have Jupiter expansion. So right away, as soon as I touch these cards, I feel like you're somebody who is very creative. So people are gossiping about a lot of your ideas. I think for a long time, people may have also kind of like laughed at your ideas or scoffed at them, kind of like, oh, pile number 1 wants to be able to like become an entrepreneur, for example, or pile number 1 wants to be able to take on this new creative project, like being a psychic or medium or something like that. And so it's like, I think the gossip about you is that you kind of have this ability to listen to within. So where people kind of like see this as like skepticism or bullshit or not real or not authentic, with you, pile number 1, I see that you have this ability to follow your path. You are a paper chaser. You are a dream chaser. You're somebody who doesn't wait basically for life to happen. You make life happen. So for a lot of people, they kind of like are in this energy typically of like wishful thinking. With you, pile number 1, there is no wishful thinking. You make your dreams a reality. You go for it. You're a go-getter. You're somebody who is very loving, very compassionate. You're somebody as well who is very big into spiritual practices, spiritual identity. So you could also be a witch or in the occult. You have this ability as well to really showcase a lot of compassion and a lot of esoteric type of knowledge. So you could be somebody as well who, like one of my guides actually just came online for me, Merlin, which is, actually I was talking to one of my clients and she was like, you have a guy named Merlin? Are you serious? I kind of like didn't really recognize Merlin's power or his potential or strength. But it's like, as time is going on, I'm like, oh shit, Merlin is powerful. So with that being said, I feel like for you guys, it is like you guys have the ability. So Merlin's gift that he has, or one of his gifts I'm realizing that he has, is his ability to travel into different dimensions, different galaxies, and shapeshift. So I feel like for you, you have this ability as well where you can kind of like dive into different types of ethers, different types of environments, different types of realities, and consciousness is something that is a gift that people are gossiping about. It's like you may have told them a lot of things that may have come true, or they were like, what are you talking about? I don't think this is actually going to happen. And then somehow, some way, it actually happened. So it's like you have this ability to unveil the unseen, which is something that people really are gossiping about with you, because it's like you may have people might be in this like illusion, or like might not see the unseen conscious, but you can see that. So this is where people are talking about that. People are also talking about how wherever you go, it seems like things always work out for you. So you could also be someone who is very much into traveling or enjoying or experiencing new things. So you're always, always, always looking for new opportunities to unfold for you. And you're somebody who's very enthusiastic about life and very enthusiastic in general about self. So because of this, people are really, really seeing this as you always being in that fool's energy, which is always about taking that leap of faith, always looking to expand. So looking to expand business projects, looking to expand ideologies, looking to expand in areas, for some of you, in languages, looking to expand into foreign exchanges. It's like you are always looking to expand even your beliefs, your ideologies, the way in which you view life, the way in which you see life. You're always looking for a way to tap into advanced potential. So for people, they may overlook a lot of opportunities because they're afraid of, well, I'm not going to do that because it's too risky or it's too dicey, right? I'm noticing the dice here as well. But for you, you're like, no, it's perfect. I'm going to take this chance and I'm going to take this leap of faith. So you're somebody who definitely brings a lot of positivity as well because of your optimism and your open-minded spirit within self. So let us pull some tarot cards in terms of what the current gossip is about you. So let's see actually what your friend circle is saying about you. So what are friends saying about pile number 1? We have here the Two of Cups in reverse. We have here Death in reverse. Let me pull one more card. And we have here the Lovers in reverse. So what people are gossiping about, or what your friends are saying about you, pile number 1, is that you're somebody who's not really looking for a partnership right now. I think the idea is that you're focusing more on self. So you may have for a long time had this image or this ideology about love, relationships, connections, but they're noticing that your views, your opinions, the way in which you've been conducting yourself has changed. So it's like you're not really focused on finding the right one at this point in time. Or if you are in some sort of connection, people are gossiping that you and your person are different but alike in a lot of ways too. So they are starting to so when your friends talk about you, they talk about that, you know, you might have been in, let's say, a twin flame soulmate dynamic, for example, and it's like you're not really waiting for your person to come in. You're more focusing on yourself, which is something that people are really your friends are talking about. We also see here with this 5 of Swords in reverse, it's like you don't like arguing or fighting with anybody. So people are gossiping about that because I think that sometimes people like to challenge a lot of your opinions, your views, your ideologies, stuff like this as well. But it's like you're not in this energy of arguing or fighting or defending anything. You just want to be self. So it's like people are talking about the fact that you don't let things bog you down. You don't look back and say like, I was dealt a bad hand of cards, so I'm going to just remain, let's say, in this place of disappointment, sadness, grief, loss. It's like you're always looking for a way to move forward. You never really dwell on the past. You're somebody who always is about expansion, working on self, and really, really not letting life get you down, which is something that your friends are talking about as well. So we see here with the Lovers in reverse, as I said, there could have been some sort of separation or divorce breakup in regards to this. And I see here that you had made a conscientious choice to love yourself unconditionally, which people are noticing as well. So you could have, let's say, been tied in with somebody else. You could have been someone who was divorced or had some sort of long-term commitment or with somebody in a relationship. But for some of you, I feel like this did not work out. So people are talking about that, but they're noticing that you didn't let it get you down. It's like for you, you kind of like continue to push the gas forward and kept continuing to, again, work on yourself, work on your dreams, work on your aspirations, and focus on the things that matter to you, right? Following your dreams, your passions, your desires, right? Because the Lovers is a card too that's all about connections, right? Love, romance, whatnot. But it's also about a card of loving yourself. So you may have also recently gone through some sort of transformation, or you're about to embark on a new chapter or a new transformation, which people are noticing and are gossiping about because they've noticed that you are no longer letting life get you down, or you're no longer feeling like a victim of circumstance. You're taking charge of your life and you're working on building on your passions and dreams. So let's see what family is talking about in regards to you, what they're gossiping about. So we have here the Prince of Wands in reverse. I'm hearing as a side note, some of you guys may have been into like film and broadcasting as a profession. But I'm hearing that recently, like, you might have also been a journalist of some sort, or could have been involved in some sort of writing or creative project as a career. But it's like you may have recently come out of that or realized that you no longer really want to be just focusing on that. You're looking to expand your horizons is what I'm hearing. Or if you haven't considered that, Spirit is saying as a message that you might want to consider this as well. So hold on a second. Wait a second here. I'm noticing that my cards are... No. So we're going to actually... I'm going to reshuffle that because I'm noticing that some of my cards are not facing entirely all the way that they should. So I'm going to flip some of the deck and reshuffle that. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to reshuffle. All right, that's better. So let's see what family is saying about you. So we have here the Four of Wands in reverse. Or you have here the Painter, the Queen of Swords reverse. And we also have here the Aiken. So what I see here with you in terms of what family is talking about in regards to you is that you are somebody as well who, as I talked about, there's some sort of divorce or breakup, or it's like a phase of your life has recently come to an end. It's like you may have been caught up in some sort of situation for a while, or some sort of cycle for a while. But what I see here is that you have successfully walked away from something that was incredibly toxic. So for some of you guys, it may be a career. It could be a love connection. I'm seeing for some of you, it could have been a job, which was why I talked about the career pieces before I had reshuffled. And so this is something that people are noticing and really talking about in terms of your family life. So it's like for some of you guys, maybe there was some sort of family dynamic where the expectation was you would take on some sort of profession or career or whatnot, and you made a choice not to follow the same track that your parents or guardians had wanted for you, or people around your family life may have wanted for you. You've decided to take another stage of life. So I see here as well, it's like for a lot of you guys, I think you're spending a lot of time alone in some sort of isolation, but it's not that isolation. I think it's well-needed rest and time for yourself. And the reason for that is because you needed time to really refocus your thoughts, refocus your ideologies, really spending time to think about self. So for a lot of you guys I see here as well, you might actually be taking on a lot of painting or creative arts. I see here that there is some claying or some sort of pottery that you might be considering doing as well, is what I feel as well for you. Or you could just be listening to that inner voice here with the Moon card. So with the Moon here as the necklace. So it's like you could just be listening more to your inner self, which people are talking a lot about in terms of your family. So we see here as well, I feel like you are in this energy of basically starting life over. It's like you are kind of like wanting to take a leap of faith in terms of going on to the next step. So a lot of you guys, I'm feeling like could be spending some time having conversations with wise counsel. So it could be ancestors, or it could be people in your family line in general. You've been spending a little bit of time communicating with your family members. So for some of you guys, I feel like you could have recently visited a departed loved one, or a loved one could have given you some sort of message in a dream or something like that as well. And it's really helping to give you a lot of ideas to push the gas forward in terms of building your life and stepping more into a life of your purpose. So for a lot of you guys, I see here that you guys might also be wanting to find out a little bit more about your heritage. So people are communicating about that you're doing a little bit more discovery in terms of self, in terms of your life, your future, your path, your purpose, where your family line may have come from, or those of you those who may have come before you. You're trying to explore a little bit more information about that. So family is talking about that you know, they're noticing that you're more connected in terms of wanting to find out more about your history as well as yourself. So let us also see in terms of your coworkers. So let's see what they're gossiping about when it comes to you. So we have here the 5 of Wands reverse. We have here the Chariot. And we also have the Moon. So what people at work are talking about overall for you, pile number 1, is that they noticed that one time back, I think you were somebody who used to take on a lot of duties and responsibilities and stuff like that at work. But recently, I think you've recognized that you no longer want to be the one that everyone turns to for help or support. You have now decided that you're taking yourself out of the equation and more focusing on yourself and just what your work entails. So for some of you guys, this could be you now focusing your ideologies or your energy on your own creative endeavors, or focusing on building that sustainability within self. So your coworkers, or if you don't, let's say, work with people or a team, it's like your community of people around you. So let's say if you are a reader or a psychic or something like that, it's more of the community of people around you. So other readers, other people who are in your field are noticing that you've kind of like taken your energy back. So for example, right, like if you, let's say, have a YouTube channel, for example, or you read cards or you do something like that, people are noticing that you're not investing in your stuff the way that you used to. So it's kind of like they're noticing that you're making a lot of changes. For a while, you could have had some sort of writer's block, or kind of felt like you needed some time away to kind of reflect on your direction, your path, and whatnot, in terms of which is the best way forward for self. And it's like, because you did this and you went inwards, people are noticing that you have come back, it seems like, but with more zest, more strength. It's like your spiritual strength has definitely increased, because a part of taking time for self was to analyze the ways in which you wanted to build more on your gifts and build more on self. So if you, let's say, work in a situation where you don't work by yourself, but you have colleagues, they're noticing that you're spending a lot more time listening to your intuition. So the idea is that you're focusing more on self rather than focusing on other things that serve no real purpose to you, right? So you could have been, let's say, an overgiver, or someone that was always wanting to be like the best or overachiever, or if people have problems, they come to me. People are noticing now that you're no longer investing into things the same way that you did, and that's because you're focusing more of your time and attention on yourself rather than investing in a company, I'm hearing, that will never be yours type of deal. So it's like you want to more focus on your own creative endeavors, or just focusing on your own inner happiness rather than focusing on things that you feel don't serve you a purpose anymore. So for a lot of you guys, I feel like you might even be in between jobs, or thinking about transitioning altogether into another career, or into something completely entirely different than what you may have thought would have been your life, right? So people are noticing that. You may have told them that you're thinking about going back to school, or you're thinking about working on a new field or a new chapter or a new business endeavor, and people are talking about that as well, because they've noticed that you've changed. So we have your intuition. So again, as we talked about, you are very much connected to the divine. You are very spiritual as well. You are some sort of psychic, medium, sage, witch, if you resonate with that. There's something here about you, or a high priestess, or it could even be a sage of some sort. But there's something about your spiritual development that people are noticing, and you're listening more to your intuition than ever before. So we have your instinct, invention, trust, and impulses. The door to your inner child is opening, and he or she walks through, bringing you the gift of intuition. You may not be entirely comfortable with this newfound source of insight, and may not know exactly what to do with it. However, don't toss it aside or try to analyze it to death. Instead, accept this gift and play with it. Apply your intuition to non-threatening situations and learn how it works. Don't try to control it because you can't. It's exciting and powerful, and it is to be respected and followed, not tamed. Trust your inner child's willingness to share its magic so you may benefit. Its message to you is trust me. So again, a lot of you guys are learning how to trust that intuition more. You're getting more connected, as we talked about, to the divine, to source, to the creator, whatever it is that you believe in. And this is what is now giving you the roadmap, basically, to follow your life, your path, your purpose, right? Unleashing your destiny, which people around you are gossiping about that you've changed. You're no longer the same person that you were like a year ago, 6 months ago. You're becoming more connected within self. So that's what I have for you, pile number one. I thank you guys so much for watching this. I'm sending you love and light. Don't forget to like, comment, and sub to the channel to be entered into my draw. If you'd like to book a personal reading, check out my website to see my readings as well as services that I do provide at angiesawakening1111@gmail.com if you have any questions, or my website, angiesawakening.com. I'll leave links to this down below in the description bar of this video. Take care, pile number one. Hey, pile number two, I thank you guys so much for joining me today in your reading. So if you guys are new here, my name is Angie. I'm a psychic medium who resonates with the Twin Flame Soulmate Collective. So I do a giveaway every month for 2 lucky subscribers. So all you have to do to be entered into my giveaway is like, comment, and subscribe to my channel to be entered into my giveaway. So let us tap in. So this reading is all about what is the current gossip, the tea about you. So this is if you chose these clear glasses here. This is going to be a reading. I'm just going to set this up here so the energies of this reading will be with, or the energies of those glasses will be with us for this reading. So let's see what the overall theme is in terms of the tea, the gossip about you, pile number two. So Spirit, can you tell me about the current gossip, the tea about pile number two? Okay, so I'm already getting some messages for you, pile number two. Let me just pull, they want 3 cards. Okay, so I'm just going to pull 3 cards and then take it from there. Pull one more, Spirit. And we have here Leo, the lover. So you might actually be a Leo for some of you watching this, or you might have Leo in your chart, sun, moon, or rising. So what I see here is that you could have gone through some sort of body dysmorphia or even some sort of body modifications recently. So that might not resonate for everybody, but it's something about your health or your image, or the way that you, the image that you had in terms of life has now changed. So people are talking a lot about that, because if you were somebody, let's say before, who was, let's say, had a few extra pounds, or you were somebody who in general had like a very different type of worldview, people are talking that you've now changed this. So it's like the way in which you express yourself, the way in which you communicate, the way in which people perceive you has changed. And it's because you took some sort of action on self, which was a reflection of your outer world. It's like you could have dealt with some healing of your sacral, root, and solar plex here. And so because of that, this has now given you some sort of elevation or higher vibration in terms of your throat. So this is all about you expressing your truth. You have maybe started to speak out against a lot of injustices. You've now created some sort of movement even in the community. Or it's like, give me the image about you now being able to be someone that people actually look up to and admire. It's like you leave a very strong, lasting impression on a lot of people that you interact with. So people are gossiping about that. It's like if you, let's say, were someone who, let's say, was incredibly shy growing up, or over the years you were more shy, reserved, you know, not really someone who communicated a lot and stuff like that. People are noticing now that you're really speaking out and you're making a big impact on society. just by even your existence. So for some of you guys, I think that you're a part of some sort of NGO or some sort of movement that people can see. For some of you guys, it might not be as big as like being in the limelight like YouTube, or you could have had a podcast or a blog or something like that, but it's more about you now having some sort of image that people actually admire and want to be just like you. So they're gossiping about that, how now you have kind of like turned your something that could have been incredibly negative, like for you, something that kind of like held you back, you use that as some sort of momentum to propel yourself forward. So this is where we see with you that you really took the time to really work on your attitude. So you change your perspective about life. You change your attitude, the way in which you had been conducting a lot of things. So for some of you guys, you may have gone through some sort of ego death, or you will go through one very soon. And this is what is going to trigger a major glow up or a completion of a cycle that you were trapped in for a very long time to finally come to an end. So we also see here as well that it's like with you, you really educate a lot of people. So people are very curious about you because I think a part of you is also involved in some sort of esoterics or some sort of spiritual occult, or even just in general, just you're really into spirituality, mysteries, things that are unknown, the unseen, stuff like that as well. So I feel like as well that some of that also intrigues them, but also confuses them about you at the same time. They're like, you're a complex person. It's like nobody is quite like you, pal number 2, which people are talking about. It's like when they think about you, they think about how you are. It's like you're so multi-layered, so multi-dimensional. It's like they sometimes are like, it's like you speak in riddles when you speak, or it's like they just can't figure out how you have this information, or how you know certain things, or how your beliefs have changed, or how you've now stepped into a place of power, right? So with that being said, it's like you help to really educate people in terms of things that they might not have been seeing. So I remember actually was talking to a coworker recently about her relationship situation. So it was like a situation where she was choosing a lot of F-boys basically to be around. So I was like, where do you find these people? And it's no slight, but it's like, she's like, well, I've been finding these people on a dating website. I'm like, okay, cool, right? Nothing against people who use dating websites. I'm not saying that by any means. So don't come for me. But I'm just saying, this is an example. So it's like, hey, why don't you think about maybe not going on that dating website, maybe thinking about meeting somebody in a group or a program or something like that? Because I'm like, you keep getting the same result. You keep going on this dating website only to be heartbroken, or you keep going on the dating website only to find a guy who is just looking for pussy, right? Or you keep going on this dating website and you put yourself in a situationship where they're not single, they don't tell you that, and you find out later after you've slept with them. So I'm like, why not switch it up? Why not try to do something different than what you have done? I'm like, the first step is you need to work on yourself so that you can show up for somebody in an appropriate way. Like, she had a very big, tall order of the type of guy that she wanted, but this was not reflected through her behavior, actions, her views. Like, she's a Leo too. It's funny actually, because I pulled this as well. So it's like, she's a Leo, so she's very much like a fixed sign. So when she's like involved into like how she feels, she's stuck on that and she's not moving past it. So I'm like, you need to kind of like think about how you want to spend, you know, the rest of your adult life. Like, you told me you're in your 40s now. So, you know, like, you might not get that perfect guy who fits all the boxes that you're checking here. You might have to think about, you know, exploring and finding other options of the type of man you're settling for. So if you're like, I want a guy who has no children because I have no kids, it's like the likelihood of you getting that is a little bit slim to nil because you're 40. So chances are, you said you like older men, you're going to find a guy who is well traveled. He has children. He's been married. He might have been divorced. These are the types of things that you might encounter. So I was giving her the straight education about, you know, looking at your views. I'm like, make a list. Look for the type of qualities that are non-negotiable for you. Also look at the ways in which you could show up for yourself so that this person could show up for you, right? So if it is that you're telling me that you want to work on your fitness, it starts by taking action. Start thinking about adjusting that diet, right? Think about maybe starting off by just going for a walk. So I feel like this is the same kind of vibe that you have, pal number 2. People come to you for information. People come to you to educate them. People come to you to help transform their life because they might not see things, but you see it because you understand very much complex situations and how things work in terms of society. So this is something like you're very wise, I feel, with you, pile number 2. So we also have your Leo. So I feel like you are now starting to really show that expressive nature within self. You've gained a lot of self-confidence. You have self-respect for yourself. You're not settling for less than what you deserve. You very much are somebody who is very trusting. You have a very, very, very like big personality, but you're also very warm, very loving, very compassionate. You can be an introvert, but I feel for you, you can also be an extrovert as well. You're somebody who is just glowing, and people are noticing that. It's like before, you know, maybe pile number 2 was not as much of like in their glow up energy, but it's like recently you took time for yourself, and so when you took that time and went inwards, this has now reflected where it's undeniable that you have changed, and people notice this. I feel like you also have people who are haters too. They might be jealous of you. Like, how is it that you changed so much? How is it that you were able to level up? How is it that your life is coming together and I'm kind of like stuck over here? So you have some haters, but I also feel like you have a lot of admirers too in pile number 2. So let us see what your friends are talking about in terms of you, pile number 2. We have the Therapist, the Queen of Cups. That's interesting. So you might actually be in the field of social work or counseling or something like that as well, or you mentor a lot of people in the community. So you, and I noticed this person here is also like older, like a sage. So with that being said, I feel like you might also be like a sage as well, or like a high priestess. You're very much connected. Like people come to you for just about anything. So this is kind of like confirming what I talked about earlier in terms of you taking care of yourself and resting. And we have here the 5 of Wands reversed. So this is the 4 of Swords and the 5 of Wands. And this is the Queen of Cups. So for a lot of you guys, as I talked about, your friends are talking about how you mentor people, how you support people, how you listen to people's problems. You don't judge them. You're somebody who very much is open to helping and giving back to people who are in need. You might actually have a business or a practice as well, as what I'm seeing, or you might be thinking about starting some sort of mentoring. For some of you guys, I think that there is some sort of higher education that may be required in order for you to fully pursue this. But I think for some of you guys, based on this major transformation I see happen for you, you've already taken those courses, or you're going to be taking them very soon, so that you're able to really ground this sort of profession as a business or something that will really help to inspire a lot. So the message I'm getting is that they're saying that you have now been able to really been a sounding board for a lot of people in the community. You might also be a water sign. So that's Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, but Cancer is prominent here as well. And Leo. So you could have a lot of water and fire in your birth chart. And some of you guys may also have Earth, which is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn as well too. So what I see here is that they're noticing that you took a period of time for yourself and you rested, you retreated, you went inwards. And so because of that, it's like you really battled a lot of your demons. You battled a lot of things that were holding you back in terms of blockages or obstacles. And your friends are really talking about that because they see here how you've made great strife, right? So, and just like what it says in the card, right? You made great strife. You took a leap of faith, which was taking a chance on yourself, working on yourself, and now you're coming out as someone who is a wise counsel to a lot of people. So let's see what your family's saying about you, pile number 2. We have here the Fool. So as I said, you're no longer listening to that template, like what family basically had thought that you were going to do. You're now focusing on what it is that you want to do. It's not about them, it's about you. And your family is actually noticing that. You're not like them, and they know that. And we have here, they're telling me to read this one upright, the Ace of Cups. So what I see here is that you guys may have been people that were overgivers in your family. So you could have been like the black sheep, or somebody in your family that people really kind of like looked up to in a way, or they kind of like discredited or didn't really see your value. But I think with recent days, it's like you veered completely left in terms of away from your family. I'm not saying that you disconnected from them. Some of you may have cut your family off or haven't been in communication that much with your family. But what I see here is that you have now taken a leap of faith and changed a completely different direction in terms of what your family may have expected for you. I feel like for a lot of you guys, you may have initially gone into some sort of career, profession, or maybe taken on some sort of template that your parents or caregivers or family line wanted for you. For some of you guys, it could have been a situation where they wanted you to carry on a family business or something that everyone in your family had expected of you. But it's like, you're like, fuck that. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm focusing on myself. I'm pouring into me. I'm loving me unconditionally. I don't give a shit who wants to judge me or wants to say anything about me. I'm just going to live my life to the fullest. Carpe diem is what I feel is coming through. And because of that, it's like you have this new type of renewed sense of self. The way that your sensuality is beaming is like nobody can deny that. It's like they're wanting to know how they could be like you. It's like I feel a sense of admiration from your family. It's like you decided to do things differently and it's paying off for you. Like, I feel like for a lot of you guys, they may have believed that you wouldn't have been able to get through in a lot of ways, but you are persevering. You are getting through, and your family is gossiping about that. They're like, holy fuck. Pile number 2 disconnected from us. They're not doing the things that we wanted pile number 2 to usually do. And we notice now that pile number 2 has gone through a major transformation and a major glow up. It's like you're no longer investing in the things that they had wanted for you. You're investing in yourself, and it's showing. You're glowing. You've transformed, and it's undeniable that you're no longer the same. And they don't even recognize you anymore. And so I think a lot of them might even have a little bit of some slight against that as well, because they wanted things to remain the same. But it's like, no, you wanted to change. And for a lot of them, they kind of like feel a little bit upset about that, because they, in a way, it's like they wanted you to be happy, but they didn't know that you actually being happy would have meant that something that you were committed to or some ideology that you had would have died off as a result of that. It's like you changed. And they know that you've changed. So let us see in terms of your work colleagues, what the tea or the gossip is there with that. So this is very spicy, pile number 2. I feel like there's also a fearless vibe coming through for you, pile number 2. It's like you're fearless. You don't give a shit. You're doing it. You're big in the game. You're a heavy hitter. You're like all in. And I'm calling the shots. I'm taking charge of my life. I'm doing the things that make me happy. I'm hearing a gold digger. Like, not gold digger like you're looking for money, but gold digger like you're reaching your aspirations. You're heading into new heights. You're dealing with everything that, you know, people told you that you wouldn't be able to do. You're doing it, and you're winning. And it shows, right? So your colleagues are like noticing how you're like this ray of sunshine, or if you work by yourself, your community of people around you. So let's say, for example, if you read tarot cards or you're part of an entrepreneurship organization, the people around you are noticing that you're no longer stagnant. You're taking action, right? So the fire truck here, so you might actually be a firefighter or work in some sort of helping profession is what I feel as well with this very strongly. And even with the Queen of Cups, the therapist, it's like you could be in some sort of helping profession. So it's like they see you taking action. You're reaching your goals. You're achieving greatness, right? Even with this ladder here, you're heading to new heights. You're taking on different facets of self. You're working on your goals. You're leveling up. And people are noticing that in your community or your work colleagues. You're also speaking your truth. You're not afraid to show people the real you. You're being genuine. You're authentic. You're very much connected to your intuition as well as your third eye. And I see here with the green, you've really worked on healing that heart chakra as well. So it's like a lot of you guys may be traveling or going to new places or taking on new contracts or business endeavors, and people in your community of work are noticing that. They're noticing that you are now reaching new heights in terms of things that they might not even have been able to accomplish. You're accomplishing it. You are crushing your goals and dreams. And they see that you're so much more happier. You look more refreshed. You look younger. For some of you guys, you may have recently had a child, or you're going to be having a child very soon. And they're noticing that as well. Like, you worked on yourself, you took action, and now you're reaping the benefits of everything. And so a part of them as well, I think, feels like it's a little bit of a slight here. It's like they want the same for themselves, but some of them are a little bit intimidated to even ask you, like, what was it that you did? It's like there's some sort of admiration I feel very strongly with this, but it's like they want the same thing for themselves. They want the 10 of Cups Just like how you have the 10 of cups, they want the same 10 of cups as well for themselves. So they notice that you're happier. You're now being an authentic version of self. So some of you guys may have also recently come out as gay or bisexual. That's just a one-off message that may not apply to everybody. But there's something here as well about you loving yourself. And I'm noticing that there's like all the chakras here illuminated. So it's like your whole chakras are lit. Your root, your sacral, your solar, your third eye, your crown, your heart, everything has now come online for you. And they're noticing how much you've really stepped into this place of power. And we even see here with this Tower card as well, it's like you had a death and a rebirth. It's like an ending of a cycle of pain to have this new beginning, which is creating a lot of abundance and happiness for you. And people are noticing that. You no longer are settling for anything less. You're working and achieving your goals. You're taking action. And for a lot of you guys, I feel like you've done this within a very short period of time. So it's like one day you were like this, the next day you're like taking action, the next day everything is clicking into place for you. People are like, what the frig? I swear like 2 months ago, pile number 2 was like just trying to figure their shit out, and now pile number 2 is like a boss, a CEO, is like doing foreign exchanges, is counseling people, is coaching, is working on spiritual development, is like you're just keep leveling up. And they're like, what the fuck? Like, how does pile number 2 keep doing this? It's like every time I don't talk to pile number 2 for a minute and I see pile number 2 again, it's like pile number 2 has transformed even further than the last time. It's like every time they connect with you, you're different. Something about you has changed every single time, and they just don't know how you do it. So we have your death. So again, as we talked about that, death and rebirth. And we have your discontentment. So I feel like this is kind of resonating with past energy, or for some of you guys, it's like this is waiting for you once you go through this transformation. So I feel like I'm channeling for 2 different groups of people. Some of you guys have already transformed, or some of you guys are going to be going even deeper into your transformation. It's like it's a continuation type of deal. It's like you're not satisfied, because this discontentment speaks to dissatisfaction with a lot of areas of life, and death is all about death and rebirth. So let us read card number 30. So it says, devastation, surrender, defeat, humiliation. As hard as this may be to admit, it is time to give up your present efforts and walk away from a situation that has no more life left in it. Whether it is a dead-end job, a relationship that has run its course, or a pattern of behavior that is no longer getting you what you want, recognize what isn't working anymore. There are times in life when things or circumstances come to a natural end, some of which may seem beyond your control. This is one of those times. Your guardian angels are surrounding you as this reality of your dead-end situation settles in. They comfort you at this time when it appears as though all is lost. Although you are not experiencing a physical death, your angels indicate that something has indeed died that has been harming your spirit. The good news is that the worst has already occurred, and it will not get any worse than this, and soon a new day will dawn. As hard as it can be to admit, accept that defeat or a dead end, because sooner you do, the sooner your real gifts you seek will appear from the right resources. So this is all about you taking action. It's a time where, you know, like a part of you, you're recognizing you can't remain the same. You have to change. You have to level up. And this is where what we talked about with this discontentment card, that you were unsatisfied with parts of self, which is why you started this change. Right? You recognize that, you know, I can't keep doing the same things over and over again. I'm sick of this. I'm tired of it. I am going to be in that fool's energy, right? As we talked about, where you were focusing on leveling up, fearlessly leveling up. And I feel like it was something that was divinely guided, like you were meant to go through this transformation. And so you felt that intuitively, and then you took action, which is what people really, really noticed about you. So that's what I have for you, pile number 2. If this resonates, don't forget to like, comment, and sub to the channel. Of course, as always, I am sending you lots of love and light. Take care. Hey, pile number 3. Thank you guys so much for joining me today in your reading. So today's reading is, what is the current gossip, the tea about you? So if you are new here, my name is Angie. I'm a psychic medium who resonates with the Twin Flame Soulmate Collective. So I do a giveaway every month for 2 lucky subscribers. So if you feel called, subscribe to the channel, like, comment to be entered into the draw. So we have these glasses here. So these are my hot mama glasses. Actually, like, people who know me, I guess, in the 3D would be like, yeah, Angie, I have like tons of sunglasses. Like it's actually insane. Like I love glasses. Like that's something that I've always loved because I feel like you can put pieces together with any outfit. So these are one of my cheapy frames, but they're really nice. Like they're cool. Actually my soulmate was the one who actually picked out these glasses for me when we went to the mall one time, and I was like, yeah, I like these ones. So I'm just gonna set this up here for the energy of your reading. So they're a little bit bigger and chunkier, so it's kind of hard to set it right up, but so I have enough space. So yes, let us tap in. So we're going to be finding out what the current tea, the gossip is about you. So for some of you guys, I feel like this could be in regards to some sort of love connection, but once I get the messages, I'll be able to channel. So I'm going to pull 2 cards for you. Spirit is saying 2 cards. Will do. So can I get 2 cards, please, Spirit, for pile number 3? For the hot mamas in pile number 3, or the hot papas in pile number 3. Let's see. We have 12th house, surrender. Okay, let me get one more, please. That's too many. One more. All right, so we have Thrine. Flow. All right. So what I see here, the tea, the gossip about you, pile number 3, is that you definitely have some sort of surrendering happen. So I feel like it's like you could have, let's say, had a twin and then you met with a soulmate or something like that, and people are talking about that. It's like you may have been able to release a lot of baggage and really work really hard on your forgiveness. So for a lot of you guys, I feel like you guys have recently done an Akasha clearing, or you're thinking about doing that as well. So this is to resolve a lot of karma and past life stuff that have been keeping you stuck and bound for a very long time. So I feel like this is the energy that maybe you've recently decided that you wanted to investigate for yourself or your twin. Actually, if you are interested, I do Akasha records clearing as well. And I did talk about this. So the time that I'm recording this is around the 8-8 portal, which is the Lion Gates portal, which is a very powerful energy for Twin Flame Collective. So if you are looking to do some Akasha clearing, I also offer this as a service as well, which would probably benefit you to really help to release a lot of that karma, as well as helping you to also release a lot of what's stuck inside of you. So like baggage, stuff like that, your forgiveness. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, though, you have transcended a lot of this already, where you've really started to work on your development. So for a lot of you guys, you've taken the road of now developing self. Some of you guys have decided, I'm hearing, to write a book. Or get connected more with star family is what I'm hearing as well. And so for a lot of you guys, I feel like this is where a lot more of your divine feminine energy is really starting to... Okay, so that was loud. I don't know what the hell is going on with my neighbor. This is ridiculous. So anyways, I think... so for some of you guys, this is like a wake-up call. Like if you haven't done this, then Spirit is saying that you need to take action where this is concerned. So for a lot of you guys, I feel like you guys have to really focus on healing the unseen. And so people are talking about that. It's either you have done this already or you're meant to take care of that at this time. That's why I'm talking a lot about this as well. And when you release a lot of that baggage and that karma, you're going to really be able to work on that heart chakra, which is going to allow you to stand into a place of forgiveness. So for some of you guys need to also work on forgiving your twin, forgiving yourself. That's like an FYI, a side message. So I do see here that people are saying that you are starting to follow your dreams and you're really focusing on finding that compassion within self and recognizing that, you know, you're human, you make mistakes. We all go through things. We all make mistakes. We all go through different situations, or we all go through different types of stuff. I feel like a lot of you guys are now starting to pray more, connect more with spirit, with source, with the creator, whatever it is that you believe in, with God. And so this is what's really helping you to focus and transmute a lot of that guilt, that anger, that frustration, which people are noticing that you're not as I'm hearing bitchy as what you might be sometimes, or them thinking that you're a little bit bitchy. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just here to deliver the messages. So if it is that you have more of a fiery type of personality, people are just saying that you're now becoming more compassionate towards things that maybe before was a little bit difficult for you to understand. So if it's like, why doesn't so-and-so just get a better job or whatever? It's like you're now starting to really focus on healing that and recognizing that, you know, it might not be so easy for so-and-so to get that job, or my twin to walk away from the karmic, or my twin to do this. It's like you're understanding a different level of perspective, which people are understanding, and you're starting to surrender to the idea of this connection, surrender to the idea of things happening. So we have contracts, we have things that are happening. So for example, right, it's about recognizing, for example, that, let's say, I'll just use this. It's like recognizing that, you know, right now your twin or your soulmate might be tied up with some stuff. There's some contracts or things that still need to be sorted out. They're telling me there's some past life issues that need to be sorted out. And so you're understanding, you're compassionate to that, which people are gossiping about. We also see here as well that you are somebody very much who is working on harmonizing self. You're adopting this ideology more of going with the flow. So for a lot of you guys in the past, you may have been someone who was more of a control freak or wanting to dictate the pace of a connection or dictate the pace of life, work, whatnot in general. You've now gained some level of maturity where you understand that you can't control everything. Things happen for a reason. So sometimes people, places, things happen to us or come into our life only for a season to teach us a lesson, and so, or to help us grow and mature as a person. So you guys are, people are gossiping about you now recognizing the benefits to every situation, even if it's bad or good. People are talking about how your energy is starting to recharge, rejuvenate. I think you've been spending a little bit more time focusing on yourself and focusing on your goals and aspirations as well. So for some of you guys, I think you have been more indulging on yourself and spending time with yourself. So if it is that you're normally someone that overgives in situations, you're no longer doing that. You're more focusing on the benefits of self and focusing on what will be beneficial to you rather than everybody else. So let us pull some cards in terms of what your friends are saying about you. So let's see what friends are saying about pile number 3. Okay, we have the Chariot in reverse. We have the Empress, and we have the Princess of Disc. So that's where I was talking about that compassionate piece, right? The Empress. So friends is confirming what I had mentioned earlier. So friends are basically saying that there was a period in which like you weren't in this energy of going with the flow. It's like you were kind of like hung up on a particular situation. So for some of you guys, it could have been a work outcome or a relationship outcome or an outcome of a connection overall. But they're noticing now that you're learning how to be in that Empress energy, which is all about receptivity. The Empress is receptive. The Empress goes with the flow. The Empress works on their creative projects. So for a lot of you guys, this is going to be a wake-up call for you to work on your projects or things that you want to pursue. So people are noticing that you may have recently started a family or you've worked on some sort of creative project. That message about a family is like an aside for a few people that may resonate with that. But I feel like this is more centered around your goals, your aspirations, your ideas, your creativity. So people are noticing that you're getting more in touch with that inner child. You're focusing more on self. So you might be getting connected with art. So some form of artistic, and I'm noticing there's like a yin yang symbol. I bring it up to the camera if you guys can see. It's like a yin yang symbol here on the watch. So again, that's like balancing that masculine and feminine energy. So a lot of you guys, if you were more in your masculine energy, you're now in that Empress energy. Even if you are a male in body watching this, this is more about getting connected to that nurturing aspect of self, that nurturing, that supportive, that loving, that caring, that compassionate facet within self. And it's through that is what is allowing you now to heal and transmute a lot of karma in terms of your life in general, right? In terms of things that may have happened to you. So for some of you guys, you may have been very much a cynic. So very much like a cynical view about life or people in general. And your friends are noticing that you're no longer in that energy. You are now more happier, you're freer, you're more in touch with your inner child, which is what people are talking about. So let us see here, family. What is family saying about pile number 3, please, spirits? So we have your Abundance in reverse, which is the 3 of Cups in reverse. We have here the Tower in reverse, and we have the 6 of Wands. So what family is saying about you, pile number 3, is that you could have been someone who could have been all about self-indulgence. So for some of you, you could have been a little bit selfish, and it's not a slight against you. It's just the messages that I'm getting. So what I see here is like you could have been a little bit selfish in terms of love or connections, or you could have been involved with people that were very selfish towards love, relationships, connections in general. But recently, I feel like you have learned a lot of lessons in terms of how you saw yourself in terms of family dynamics or relationships in general. And your family members are noticing that you're no longer putting in the same effort that you once had put in the past in terms of love, connections, relationships, even with them. So it could have been a situation where you had been over giving to family, over giving to friends, over giving to romantic partners. But they're noticing now that you've stopped investing the way that you used to invest. So they're talking about that. They're also talking about the fact that for some of you guys, you had been resisting resisting some sort of transformation that was waiting for you, right? Because the Tower is all about endings and new beginnings. So for a lot of you guys, they may have said for a while that you were stuck in your ways, or that you were refusing to change, or you would never change type of deal. But it's like, I feel like you guys are starting to really change that outlook, which is helping to change your ideologies about life in general. So people your family members are noticing that now you're in it to win it. Like, you're noticing, like, why was I trying to control the situation before? Why was I over giving to connections before? Why was I investing so much? Some of you guys may have recently started running or going for walks and stuff like that, which is really helping to let off some steam, is what I'm hearing for some of you guys. And so they're noticing that you're focusing on yourself instead of focusing on other people, their problems, other family, like the support, the things that they might be going through. You're focusing more of your time and attention on yourself, which they're noticing as well. So let's see in terms of your colleagues, your work colleagues, or your community of work, if you work, let's say, by yourself as an entrepreneur. So we have here the High Priestess in reverse. We have here the Seven of Wands. And we have here the Seven of Swords. So what I see with you here in terms of your community in general, I see that you are starting to lay down some sort of foundation. It's like in some way you might have been, like, people might be talking about you maybe in the past could have been reliant a lot on your community or reliant a lot about work. Let me pull one more card. Or actually clarify this card here. Clarify the Seven of Swords. I'm trying to see why that one is here before I start completely talking. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups reverse, and we have failure. Okay, got it. All right, I understand. And there's a lot of sevens here, so you might actually resonate with the vibration of 7 for a lot of you guys watching this as well. Or angel number 777 is going to have an additional message for this reading as well. So your community of friends or colleagues or whatnot that you are a part of, they are talking about the fact that for some of you guys, I feel like in the past you weren't listening to your intuition in terms of work situations or that inner knowing. It's like a part of you guys may have known that a job or a situation may have been toxic, but you guys were kind of staying in it, trying to like keep doing it, working on it, whatnot. But I feel like it's like you needed to have some sort of enlightenment. So for a lot of you guys, they're talking about the fact that they don't necessarily support the things that you're doing. Like, I don't feel there's a sense of support here. It's like you might be in a situation where people kind of see, like, I'm hearing that your work or something you do is a little bit in the infancy, like an amateur, but it's like a slight, like it's not, I don't feel like it's probably entirely true, but this is just the perspective of these people that I'm channeling. So don't take it personally. These are just the messages that are coming out. So I'm going to have to say what I see here, right? I cannot lie to you. I have to be authentic with what I'm saying. So this is like very negative, a negative vibe I'm feeling from this as well. And the cards are very dark as well too. So what I see here is that a lot of them kind of like feel like you kind of like are someone who is a hypocrite. It's like you may speak about some sort of injustice when it's like they want you to focus more on yourself. So what I see here is like something about you is not 100% genuine is what they feel or what they're gossiping about. They're like, Pile number 3 talks about, let's say, spiritual practices or self-care, but they don't practice self-care. It's like, that's the vibe that I'm getting from this as well. It's like they say, oh, well, how to secure a loving relationship when they themselves are not in a relationship. It's like something that you're doing kind of like contradicts, or they feel, it's their opinion, so they feel that it contradicts what you show. So it's like they see you as kind of like, they're gossiping that a lot of the stuff that you talked that you were going to do has not panned out to date. So it's like they want you to kind of focus on grounding some of these ideas or figuring out a better path, because they're talking about the fact that they're gossiping that you may have come to them with some big ideas. Oh, I'm going to do this channel, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but then it hasn't panned out the way that it should have panned out. So for a lot of you guys, it's like in the infancy stages. For a lot of you guys, I feel like the problem is that sometimes I think you might like bite off a little bit more than what you can chew, is what these people feel. It's like you say you're going to take on all these stuff, but then it's like your energy is being pulled in different directions. You need to kind of like hone in and channel in on your thoughts or your ideas. So it's like these people are gossiping that a lot of the things that you said would come to fruition have yet to come to fruition. So it's kind of like they're doubting your ability, basically, is what they're gossiping about. It's like pile number 3 said that they would be successful by this time, or they would have such and such many subscribers, or they would have graduated school by this time, but it hasn't happened yet. So they're gossiping about that because in a way they're haters. So they don't want you to basically get ahead. It's like for them, they base success based on how much tangible things you have. So for example, if you have a YouTube channel, they base your success based on how many subscribers you have, or how many people purchase readings from you, or how known are you in the community. Like that's how the mentality of these people are. So they're gossiping that you're kind of like just starting out and trying to do a thing, but it's like things are not panning out exactly the way that you had anticipated. So they're gossiping a lot about that. They're talking a little bit about you behind your back. So they're saying that, so to your face, they may encourage you or tell you that, yeah, go for it. But it's like, in a way, you may feel like these people are not sincere or genuine with this High Priestess in reverse. But it's like, you are not refusing to see the situation for what it is. So for a lot of you guys, it's like you may have some toxic colleagues or toxic community members around you that you need to kind of purge at this time. There's a message about that. And I also see here as well that there's a message about you not necessarily sharing all about your romantic situation if you have a, let's say, a soulmate or a twin flame experience with them, because I feel like they don't sincerely have your best interest at heart. They talk a lot about you, that you're very much living in a fantasy world if you believe that things are going to work out. So it's very negative, is what I feel with that. So it's like, just be careful with how much information you give to people, because they're seeing all your things that you're doing as a failure. Like it's like a failure to launch is what I'm hearing, like a failure to take off the ground. So they're gossiping a lot about that because they are haters, right? They don't have your best interest at heart. It's very negative. I think a lot of them too are kind of like, they wish in a way that they had your guts or your willpower, but they're jealous of that. But we see here devotion. So it's like you are very much devoted to yourself and very much devoted to your aspirations, and you're motivated in terms of figuring out what your life purpose is as well too. So don't give up, pile number 3, right? Just know that, you know, in time, everything is going to work itself out for you. You just have to trust and believe in yourself, and trust and believe your path, right? Don't listen to what these people are saying, because these people are haters. Like, some of them wish they had the determination or the courage what you have, but they themselves don't have it as well. So some of you guys may actually benefit from getting connected to a mentor or somebody as well too. Somebody that's in a higher vibration than this whole get up here with your friends or work colleague situation, right? Community of people. It's like some of you guys need to branch off on your own and depart from a community. So some of you guys may have like a spiritual community that you're tied to. You guys this might be a time now where it's time for you to part ways, because these people don't necessarily have your best interest at heart. So let us see here. So it says devotion, nature, spirits, inspiration, contemplation, nature, faith. The presence of God is everywhere. So if you feel disconnected from the divine, you are the one who left. Your nature spirits are beckoning you back to a place of awareness that reconnects you to source. Don't allow your mind to isolate you in fear or get stuck dwelling on misery. Instead, go outside and take in the natural world, which is beautiful gift for you to enjoy. See the divine all around you. Focus on the beauty, power, and wholeness that nature affirms. Humbly surround to this greatest of forces present in all things, including you. Your nature spirit's message, breathe in the divine, you are God and God is you. So some of you guys also might benefit too from a spiritual release therapy as well. Because I feel like it's just a lot of negativity around you, especially in your work colleague type of situation. Like there's a lot of backstabbing happening there, I feel. Or if you don't have a work situation, like you work as on your own, the community that you're connected to doesn't support you. So it's like you guys have to get reconnected with spirit. Like a lot of you guys need to get regrounded. So spending a lot of time in nature, getting connected again with the divine. Because I think you're not as grounded or connected as you think you are. Because if you were, then this high priestess here wouldn't be in reverse, right? You would be able to clearly see your situation for what it is too. So that's what I have for you, pile number 3. I thank you guys very much for watching this video. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, like, or comment to be entered into my giveaway as well, because I do a giveaway every month for 2 lucky subscribers. I thank you guys very much for your love and support. And as always, I'm sending you lots of love and light. Take care.